What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Second City Sports Talk. I'm Keaton here with Papa Bear. We're talking Cubs today, and our last video, we had just come off of like a really embarrassing series against Pirates. Pretty negative in that video, I'd say. And since then, you know, it's been mixed, I'd say. It's been up and down.
Mixed bag.
We started out, you know, with that series against the Brewers.
Right.
And that was kind of, you know, just a continuation. The bats just weren't going in that series at all.
Yeah, it seemed like nothing was gelling. We were 4-7.
The one game we won in that series was just a lucky Contreras home run.
Yeah. But since then we're 500. We went 6-6.
I think that series. You know, the Braves series was also interesting. I think the first game against the Braves, it just felt like, you know, Brewers all over again.
Yep.
But then I think that game 13-4 against the Brewers, that was really a turning point because up until then, we just couldn't seem to score more than 3 runs.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys were just in massive slumps. Rizzo was in a massive slump, which is super uncharacteristic for him. And, you know, Javi was slumping.
I remember during that game going, let's save some of these runs for other games. And that happened a few other games because, I mean, we just... Yeah,
and then after that, I mean, we kind of got, you know, instant karma the next game. But... After that, we swept the Mets, which, I mean, you don't really know how good the Mets are going to be, but a lot of people were predicting them to win the NL East this year.
We did that for Ron Santo, as all you Cubs fans know. Ron Santo was not a Mets fan, so. But no, it's, you know, it's like he was saying, it's a mixed bag. It's felt good. It's felt like there's some
We're 6-6, so you can't really be happy since our last video, but like... Hey, at the same time, I think we are playing better.
Yeah,
these last 2 games against the Brewers haven't been very impressive.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, the Brewers have kind of been dominating a lot of teams this year.
We played a lot of games.
The Brewers came out there and swept the Padres, who are supposed to be like possibly the second best team in the league right now. Yeah. So who knows? The Brewers have a really scary pitching staff right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're 10-11. We're in 4th place, right above the Reds. The NL Central looks okay. It doesn't look like a powerhouse.
I think right now, if it weren't for those, you know, 15-4, 13-4, 16-4. If it weren't for those games, things would be looking a lot more bleak. But I think those games offer some hope. And, you know, if we can do that more often, I mean, we don't necessarily need to put up 15 runs a game. But if we can just consistently get 5 runs or more, I think
it's not going to get easier. We got the Braves coming up. We got the Reds. We got the Dodgers coming up. The best team in the league, I think, right now for sure. And then the Pirates. So... You know, we've got a lot of things coming, and you know, we just need to buckle down and play like I
think what we need is a little bit more consistency from our pitching. Arrieta's been really reliable. Yeah. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we do some player ratings later on. Trevor Williams has been kind of the surprising story. He's been good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, you know. Shout out to his dad. They seem to want to talk about him every single Cubs game. Yeah. And Alzolay, another guy who's really, I feel like he didn't really fit into the pitching rotation last year. Just simply because I think he still had a lot more to prove. But I feel like I'm starting to really you know, come around to the idea of him being a future starter for the Cubs because he's looked good. He's looked good.
Definitely. You know, speaking about player ratings, let's rate some of these guys this year. Let's start with Kimbrel.
Yeah, I mean, Kimbrel, without a doubt, he's our best player right now. Yeah. He's been flawless. I mean, he had that 1 bases loaded 9th inning, but he got out of it.
I mean, he got out of that years before. He would never have gotten out of that, and especially last year. Or I mean, he was in his head too much. I think he's locked in.
I'm giving him a 10 because like a 10. He's just. I can't ask more of him because I don't see how I would rank any lower because 10 is flawless and he's been flawless.
Yeah, we're doing 1 to 10 rankings, not 1 to 5. Just so you know. Okay, well, I would also give Kimbrel a 10. Maybe a 9.5. Just, you know, he's got a little bit to kind of figure out, but hey, he's been spot on.
What does he have to figure out, Dad?
He's just got to figure out. He's just got to get rid of those like weird ninth innings where he loads the bases. You get rid of that, he's a 10. He's a perfect 10. Okay. All right, who's next? Who do you got?
Hendricks. So Hendricks had a really rough start. I'm going to give him a 6 because his last outing was that like 15-4 game. Yeah. And he pitched really well in that. He like went into the 7th inning and it looked more like classic Hendricks that we're used to. Yeah, obviously, he had a huge cushion, so
sure. That always helps. But I think Hendricks pitches the same whether he's got a huge cushion or not.
I think usually Hendricks has such a great start to the season. I feel like last year he pitched all 9 innings in the first game of the season. Yeah. So it was a little bit like worrying about his start. His first 2 starts were just he kind of got jumped. Yeah. And I think with Hendricks, consistency is his thing, and I think he's gonna get back on track. I kind of pair him with Rizzo, where I feel like they can have rough patches, but in the end, they'll still have a good season.
Well, we'll rate Rizzo later. I'll give Hendricks a 6 as well. I think that makes the best sense. Yeah. Davies is that next guy I know we want to rate. I'm going to give him a low rating. I really feel like I haven't seen enough out of him to give him anything above a 5. So I'm giving him a 4. What do you feel like?
I'm giving him 4 too.
Oh, are you giving him a 4? Yeah. Okay, I thought you were going to go higher on him a little bit.
No. Right. Because, I think the thing about Davies, he's looked pretty unimpressive. His first start was his best start. Yeah. And I think it kind of sucks for him because it's always going to be that huge shadow of he got this could be Yu Darvish pitching right now, and Yu Darvish is amazing. So I think that's kind of a weight on his shoulders right now, and he needs to kind of stop thinking about that. I think he's a lot, in his head right now. Yeah. And I think... hopefully he can come around, but I am a little bit concerned about him because last year was his best year, and it just seems like this year has not been going his way.
Well, luckily, one of our other pitchers has been doing pretty well. Arrieta, what do you?
I remember when we made a video back in March about him. I think the general consensus was that if we can just get a decent season, but from out of Arrieta, it would be good. But Arrieta, he's been probably our best pitcher overall, starting pitcher. Yeah. Today he had a 1-run 6-inning game,
and then they blew up today.
Today was not a fun day. I'm gonna give Arrieta an 8. What do you think?
I'm gonna give him a 7. I haven't watched as many games as you have, but he looks good. I'd like to see all of our pitchers to go a little bit further. I know that seems to be a change. They're not bringing our starters into the 5th and 6th. That's kind of an interesting difference.
Really? I think they have been.
They have been, but they're taking them out in the 5th inning. So it's just it feels a little weird to me. They're not letting them go very far.
I think one of the reasons why is because the bats have been so unreliable. Yeah. So if a guy does get into a funk right now, it feels like you'll want to avoid anything because it feels like 3 runs. The Cubs go down 3 runs, and it's going to be hard to come back from that right now.
How about we talk about one of those guys who has been doing pretty well this year for the bats? Yeah. How about Bryant? Hey, he's on my back, right? That's Bryant. He's definitely one of the best guys this year.
He's been so good. I mean. Definitely our MVP offensively. He's batting 300 right now. Yeah, I mean, he's doing well. I'm giving Bryant a 9 because this has been a huge bounce back year so far to start the year for him. And it's really impressive to see he's been a lot more aggressive on the first pitch. And I think that's a good strategy for him.
Anytime he looks comfortable and he's just kind of making contact, Bryant's going to put it in
Bryant's the kind of person, he's so elite. And I think the last 2 years have been so weird not having Bryant as one of our best hitters. Yeah. Yep. But it's really good to have him. It feels like he's back.
And we also need somebody like Rizzo back, and I feel like that's somebody who's coming back. Rizzo, by the way, I'll give Bryant a 9 as well. I think I like Bryant. I always have. So Rizzo though, I think 2 weeks ago I would have given him a 3 or 2, 4 or something like that.
I would never give Riz such a low rating based on the first few weeks of a season because Hendricks, I think Rizzo is all about consistency. Yeah. I think, he's the kind of guy, he goes up there and you kind of know what you're going to get from Rizzo. He's so good. He's obviously, one of the best defensive first basemen. Yeah. He's been that way so far this season.
His bat's coming alive. I'm kidding. I would never really give him a 3. He brings so much more to the team. He's a leader. He's probably the guy smiling. You see him putting his arm around people. I think that gives his play style, the way he's coming around all of a sudden. That's pretty typical.
And he's been batting 300 in the last 4 or 5 games. So I think Rizzo he's on the upward trend right now.
Yeah,
let's talk about Javi. Javi's really been controversial this year.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said, he's been one of our weaker links.
Yep.
He's batting like 233 right now. But I think that those few games have really,
Every time I see him swing, I still think he's trying to hit it out of the park. I don't really see him, bringing that sort of style of trying to just make contact. But heck, he got that grand slam a few days ago. That was beautiful. But it wasn't necessary.
The thing about Javi, he's incredible. He's a fan favorite. He makes great plays on defense all the time.
Plays, yeah.
But his bat, he just doesn't always bring it. And
it looks like he's in his head again this year with his bat. I think last year it was a little bit better with his bat.
No, I really don't think so.
Last year or 2 years ago. All I know is there was a couple years ago that he was making contact more instead of just.
Well, he almost won the MVP in 2018 because he was batting 300, and when you combine his unbelievable defense with a good bat, you get one of the best players in the league.
Batting, I rate him as a 4, maybe a 5. Fielding, he's like a 9. So I'm kind of giving him.
I think 6, a lot of people are really hating on him right now simply because of that. Yeah, that really bad play a few days ago where he just like completely fumbled, He made a lot of mental errors there, and I'm gonna forgive him. But a lot of people
What are you rating him?
I'm giving him a 6. I'm giving him a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been giving some pretty good ratings. Anybody not doing so well this year that we want to give not so good of a rating? At least I think Happ is not really playing up to his potential.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like he's just not consistent right now. I feel like he doesn't look comfortable out there. I know you feel a little bit different about him, but I just don't see why he's necessary to be playing right now. I think they should sit him and play some other guys. Let some other people come in and play for him right now. That's what I think.
I think obviously it has been the start that he wants, but based on like what I've seen in interviews with him, it seems like he's feeling hopeful and he's feeling positive that he'll get back on track.
Let's hope so.
And I think despite not getting hits, Happ, he has been getting on base. He's been getting a lot of walks. His on base percentage is a lot better.
Well, if you say so, I give him a 4. That he's probably my lowest rated guy right now. Not out of the people we're rating. You put you let us know what you think these guys are rated at.
I'm gonna give Happ a 5. Last year was kind of his breakout season, and I'm hoping he can get back on track. But if not, I think it would be worth, some guys like Happ and Baez. It's really beneficial for them to sit them for a game or two and then bring them back just so that they can get their mental composure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as the team goes overall, I think this next stretch is going to be really defining for where we are going into the All-Star break, because we have a lot of tough teams. We got the Dodgers, we got
the Braves,
the
Pirates.
The Pirates.
They've been they're better than us right now, but that's just the next 4 series.
Yeah.
That's the next 4 series. We haven't even touched the Cardinals yet.
Yeah,
that's going to happen at some point. I think you're right though. We're 10-11. We haven't really gotten our identity yet. It feels
I think people don't really know if the Cubs are going to be good or not this year.
A lot of people are saying they're not going to be good. So this is a chance for us to, in these next series. I think we're playing a lot of games in a row in this next series too. We're not going to get a lot of breaks.
Man, if we could sweep the Dodgers.
That's one series, but it sure gives you some confidence if you can sweep a team like the Dodgers. Probably not going to happen, but I think you're right. This is kind of a defining moment for this team. If we go really poorly in these next 12 games, or it might even be a couple of longer series there,
I think you can expect that, this isn't going to be the year.
If we're, if we go 500 or a little bit better, that's actually a good thing. If we can really pull something off here, but if we're like,
especially in a division like the Central right now, when everyone, it feels like, is mediocre, going 500 against tough opponents would be, great.
Yeah, we need to show some toughness against those opponents. We need our pitching to do well, Kimbrel to stay hot, and our bats to just, we don't have to be super hot, but at least be something. Get a couple, 3, 4, 5 runs a game. That's what we're going to need that for the these next series for sure. So. All right, well, that's it for this week. Make sure you comment, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll keep coming with you with new content as we can. Hopefully, we'll maybe see you for a video real soon here about the Bears draft coming up this week. And that's it for this week.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
That's okay.